practice physical distancing. All members of council, executive management, and the city clerk are participating via video conference. And of course, the city's senior leadership team who have the reports on tonight's agenda are available to answer questions. As per our procedure, the first item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The consent items, I'll read out the title associated with the recommended motion from the staff reports and the items for discussion. We, of course, just have one staff report on the agenda tonight. Members of general committee may ask that the item be held so that it's discussed further. If the item is not held, the motion that is printed on the agenda is deemed to be approved on consent. No further discussion of the item will take place this evening. The recommendation will go forward to City Council for consideration at the next meeting. So the only staff report that's on the agenda for this meeting is a confidential personal information matter and solicitor-client privilege matter regarding a workplace investigation. Does anyone wish to hold the item?
Hold, please.
Held by Councillor Harvey. Okay, can I have a motion then to move into closed session to discuss the staff report concerning the confidential personal information matter? Councillor Natalie Harris, seconded by Councillor Riepma. All those in favor of moving into closed session? Are any opposed? Okay, that carries. Okay, Councillor Harvey, you held the matter. Would you care to put a motion on the floor?
Yes, Your Worship. That staff report HR S002-20 concerning confidential personal information and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege matters concerning a workplace harassment investigation be received. 2, that the Director of Human Resources and City Clerk, in consultation with the Integrity Commissioner and legal counsel, be authorized to amend the violence in the workplace and workplace human rights procedures to remove the language identifying roles and responsibilities for City Council and staff in the investigation process associated with complaint allegations involving council and committee members. 3, that the City Clerk, in consultation with the Integrity Commissioner and legal counsel, review the council and committee member of code of conduct and report back to general committee regarding amendments that may be required to provide clarification of roles and responsibilities of the Integrity Commissioner associated with complaints concerning members of council and committees related to workplace violence or harassment.
Okay, the motion is on the floor. Are there any amendments? Deputy Mayor Ward.
Thank you, Mayor Lehman. I'd like to introduce an amendment. It would be number 4, that notwithstanding the deadline set out for taking action on complaints in the Council Code of Conduct, the Integrity Commissioner be asked to investigate the allegations set out in confidential staff report HRS 002-20.
Thank you. As we are in public session, I will simply call the question on the amendment unless there is a question of procedure. Councillor Harvey. Sorry, you're on mute, Councillor Harvey.
Something hit my keyboard here. Yeah, just a question of procedure. With the initial motion on the floor, would we not vote on that first prior to a further amendment coming forward, or do we vote on this amendment first and see where we go from there?
No, it's like all other motions of council or matters before council. You put the motion, put a motion on the floor, and then we amend it. So I think we're following the same procedure. Okay, so if all members are clear on what we're voting on.
Just repeat it, Mayor Lehman, just repeat it slowly.
Deputy Mayor Ward, you've been asked to slowly repeat your amendment.
Notwithstanding the deadline set out for taking action on complaints in the Council Code of Conduct, the Integrity Commissioner be asked to investigate the allegations set out in confidential staff report HRS 002-20.
Okay, clear to everybody? I'll call the question. Those in favor of the amendment, please indicate. Those opposed to the amendment, please indicate. Okay, it's a tie vote, so the amendment fails. Deputy Mayor Ward.
I have another amendment, and sorry, this one's not quite worded out, but it's the alternative 2, actually. It's alternative number 2. So it would be that number 4, the matter be referred to external legal counsel to provide an opinion on alternative actions that could be undertaken in response to the results of the investigation set out in staff report, confidential staff report, HRS 00220, outside the integrity measure investigation. I guess I'll put that in because that's been rejected. So basically, we're asking for an external legal counsel to provide us with alternatives.
Okay, do you want to just read that again, Barry, please?
Sure. That the matter be referred to external legal counsel to provide an opinion on alternative actions that could be undertaken in response to the results of the investigation set out in confidential staff report HRS 00220.
Okay. You've heard the amendment by way of process. Members of General Committee, I would anticipate that once we receive that opinion, we would deal with the matter at a future in-camera meeting. Everybody clear on what you're voting on? Deputy Mayor Ward's amendment. Does anybody have any questions about process, or a couple of you look like you might?
I think Jim's trying to.
Councillor Harris, Jim Harris.
Sorry, thank you, Mayor Lehman. Through you, I'm not sure to who, it's more of a legal question. Would that advice include the risk of moving forward in a different route than what was would have been in the original process to council included in that advice?
Ms. Cook, to the degree you can answer that, would you like to try? We are in public session.
Yes, Mayor Lee. Through you, Mayor Lehman, to Councillor Jim Harris, we can ask that to be included to what is reported back.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions of process regarding the amendment that's been put on the floor? Okay, seeing none, I will call the question on the amendment. Those in favor of the amendment, please indicate. Opposed? Okay, that amendment fails as well. Are there any further amendments? Okay, I'll call the question on the motion. It's on the floor. Those in favor, please indicate. Opposed? Okay, it passes. Meeting's adjourned.